I'm going to offer him that weight thing in the garage.
Yeah, the kids will like it.
Yeah, and kind of old.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the Gulf of Mexico as their backdrop, broadcasting live from the Margaritaville Resort on Fort Myers Beach, here are the hosts of the dinkiest podcast in America, Kim and Ed Ryan.
All righty, and thank you very much for tuning in and for coming to La Di Da. My name is Ed. This is my trusty sidekick. Kim. Yeah, and we are broadcasting live from the fabulous Margaritaville Resort on Fort Myers Beach. Go ahead. Wait, you're supposed to be on microphone 2. You have to follow the proper etiquette here.
That's what I'm saying. Are we sitting together?
Yes,
Is there
of
a reason
course.
we
I
gotta
always
break
want you.
people up?
I always want you sitting next to me.
I don't want to sit next to you, Fred.
A big thank you to Alex King for his tour that he gave us of Avenida Pescadora today, and Megan Allers, the First Lady. You know what's so cool about, you walk up and down that street, you go from Estero Boulevard to the water, and then when you turn around, there's the mayor sitting in the driveway with a case of beer and the cooler.
Oh,
and,
I doubt that.
And they were giving out what do you call those drinks? There he was. What's
Bloody
the drink
Marys?
with orange
Mimosas?
juice? Yeah, they were doing mimosas, and so we got
They were not.
There's
I'm
a
sure
couple
they
of
were
nice
not.
houses.
Did you put a bid in?
Forget about raising money for charities. We just need to raise money so somebody could buy us $1 million house on the water. Oofies. That was one nice house down at the end there. It was right on the canal. It had a 26,000-pound boat lift, whatever that is. That sounds like a big boat. And then you just go right out into the water there. So thanks to Alex.
You and boats. No
Yeah.
way.
And to Megan and to Rita, and we got to see some nice houses. Thanks to Ben Freeland and Pat Van Ness last night for giving us the update.
I think he's Patrick.
Patrick?
Yeah.
Aren't you Patrick when you're a little boy and then you grow up and you drop the Rick and you're just Pat?
No.
Or you're Patrick the whole time?
I think you're either Pat as.
Yeah. When I was a little kid, I was Edward, and when I grew up, I was Ed. So that's what
No,
happens.
that's not true. Your family calls you Eddie, which
Yeah.
I cannot. That does not work for me.
When you were a little kid, you were called Kimberly, and now you're Kim, right? So see how it works?
I was chubby cheeks. That's what I was.
Oh
called
yeah,
when
you
I
were
was
really
kid.
chubby
I
back
know.
then in the day.
I was.
Yeah.
I had big
So
cheeks.
before we get to Peter, I want to introduce the Ashford family. Come on over. We're going to actually have you on the show. This is Pokey Ashford, is a follower of ours. Is she from Kentucky too? Is she in Kentucky? And she's always commenting on her page. She's so nice. And these guys live on I already forgot the name of the road. Jesus Christmas. Mandalay Bay. Every time I hear Mandalay, I think of
Mandalay
Seinfeld.
Bay?
No, I think of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I'm Art Vandelay.
Yep.
on
That was
Seinfeld,
Vandalay,
so-
but
yeah, I know it's close enough. So you guys,
where in Kentucky?
Richmond.
Now, I drove through Kentucky on my way to Wisconsin, and I stopped off in Mammoth Cave. So, how far was I to your house, to your old house?
That's about 2.5 hours.
Oh,
nice and
all
close
right.
with the mic.
Sorry, I missed
So
it.
you guys were saying that this is your first time back in 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So it really looks a lot different than it did 2 years ago. So what did you, how did you, what went through your mind when you saw what you saw even 2 years later? Yeah.
There you go.
Well, when we first got here, it was night, so I didn't get to see much. But the next day, I guess just I've heard and I've seen the pictures, although he said the pictures don't do it justice.
Never.
But it has been 2 years, so
Mhm.
things are built up again, but it is still sad. It's
Yeah.
still very sad.
Did you walk through Times Square?
Just when we came over here, so we
Yeah.
haven't really walked through it too much yet. But yeah,
So-
it's
But
sad.
you can see, yeah,
That's our
There's
next stop.
nothing
And
there.
the house that is across the street when we walk down the street to go to the beach is
Mhm.
gone. We always called it the Mermaid House, and we loved that house. Always loved that, and it's gone.
Where's
Yeah, it's
Mandalay?
fine.
Is it Mid Island or is it? Yeah.
Yes.
And they just built the gazebo back.
Oh
there,
yes,
the
we
little
took pictures
private
of that
area.
last week.
So the
Yeah.
house that was on either side, they're both gone, and it's
Now that
It's-
gazebo was part of some association
Golf.
down
It's,
there.
Island?
the homeowners association. They also that the street Gulf Island and Mandalay are both part of the homeowners association. They have a dock at the other end of on the bay,
I see.
and it's been replaced as well. So, and it's funny, they were getting ready to start rebuilding the dock, I guess 2 or 3 days, but the week before the hurricane as well.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So that kind of put another delay, and of course, business after business and permit after permit and all the other crap that you got to go through to get
Yeah.
anything done.
I think
So-
before the show you said shit, not crap.
Well,
That you have to go
I was
through.
trying to be
But
polite.
so what brought you guys to Fort Myers Beach? How did this happen?
I've been coming here since roughly 73. My grandparents bought a cottage on Mandalay Road, and they started vacationing. Then their winters would come down. They'd come down and spend time during the winters. Then my father just, happened to purchase the land right next door, the lot next door to that house. And that's when he built the house in 84-ish, and we've been coming to that house ever since. So basically, I've been coming here my entire life. So
Wow.
Sweet.
This is
I
his
love this
parents'
area.
house.
Love the.
Mhm.
I mean,
How did you guys meet?
we were
Mutual.
actually
mutual friends in
Yeah.
Lexington? We
You didn't
lived
have a
in
dating app or anything.
No,
Not on a
we
dating
didn't
app.
have a cell phone.
So
All right.
tell us where you got engaged, because you were
Oh.
sharing that with me before the show.
We got engaged on the pier. That is not
No
there
way.
anymore.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't
in
know that.
1997. 1997.
Were you surprised or did you know it was coming?
I was surprised.
Yeah.
We'd
On
only
your
been
birthday?
dating- yeah. I don't
Wow.
remember that part, but I guess
It was on her birthday.
Yeah.
we've been dating only 5 months. So
Oh wow.
Wow.
When
Did
is
you-
your birthday?
April 22nd.
April.
You made a funny
22nd.
face about. Is there any regrets of saying yes or?
It's
Wow,
Oh,
that's a-
please.
What?
That was a long pause right there. A
Well,
long
we've been
pause.
married almost 26 years.
I see.
So
Kids?
I guess it's okay.
Yep.
We have
How
two
many-
boys,
Yeah.
20-year-old and a 17, almost 18.
Now do they come down to Fort Myers Beach too? And
They're actually here right
They're
now.
here with us.
walking around.
they're probably at the
Well, we're here.
pool looking for
No,
ladies.
No, they're
No,
not.
I
but-
see.
Would hope.
They're asleep still. It's too early for them
No,
to
they're
be up.
awake. They're awake. They're just vacationing with mom and dad. Not so,
So
fun.
your mom is always commenting on our page, and we love that. Polky, you can't miss that name. She's
I know.
so
She's a wonderful, wonderful person.
yes, she's awesome, and we appreciate that she
Yes.
follows us. So you're back in your house now. You finally got it. 2 years later, you finally got it
We're
fixed.
back in action. Yes. It's
It looks wonderful.
Yes,
Mhm.
we had my uncle behind us
yes. Thank you.
lost his house, and my uncle and uncle next door to us lost. They ended up buying the original house, and it was lost in the storm as well.
It's all a family
This
thing.
is
Oh,
all a
wow.
family type
Not a
deal.
family.
Cool.
His
I have
dad's.
a cousin who's purchased a house down on the beach now, and she's down pretty much during the wintertime with her parents. So it's nice.
You know,
It's all family.
the thing about the residential more than the commercial is there's a ton of construction going on. I mean,
Yes.
you hear it, you see it.
Mhm.
You know, there are empty lots and there are broken buildings, but there's a lot of new houses being built, and they're being built back where hopefully, it's not going to happen again where you have to go through that.
Did you guys have to build all the way back?
No,
Okay.
no, we had about about an inch and a half of water in the house.
So you were already up.
Yeah, we had
Okay.
to cut 18 inches around and redo the entire interior. So it's just a matter of getting the permits together and finding somebody that could do
Do
the work. For us, right?
Yeah. What is your solution to the traffic issue during
No.
season?
Ah,
Did you?
I don't know if there's going to be a
There's
solution.
never
going to be a
It's-
solution.
I mean,
It's just the way it
somebody's
is.
got to come up with something. I wish to goodness they could build another bridge or two, but that can't happen because of the natural wildlife thing.
Right.
I think they should just ban cars and everybody should have to ride a bike, right?
Or a golf cart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or a golf cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we wouldn't
My
have a
wife
problem with
parks over there.
traffic. People would be in better shape too.
an
Sure.
e-bike?
You burn the calories, you can drink more beer.
No.
I mean, you just have to look at
how
it.
would you get all the way down to the other end?
There's going
It
to be
was
a lot
great
of drunk
using that
bike riders.
e-bike. That was great.
Well, thank you guys so much. You're
Thank
staying here
you.
at the resort too, right? I mean, what do you
No,
think of this
no.
dinky little thing?
No,
We
we're
just
not
stopped
staying
in
at
to
the
see your
resort.
show.
Oh,
That's-
well, thank you very much. Thank you. The Ashford family from Kentucky.
Thank you.
And thank you
Thank you,
to
thank you.
your mom very much. We appreciate that. So
It's her house.
it's
Okay,
her house.
it's her
All right.
house.
It's Pokey's house. Well, she's never invited me to that house, so I'm expecting an invite when we do the walk around down there. So, all right, let's get to our first
You're
guest, second
pathetic.
guest of the show, Peter Albert. I got to tell a quick story about Peter. Is Kelly coming on too, or? Oh, okay. You said I wanted to make sure I had 4 mics just in case you were bringing somebody else on. So Peter is with Coastal Vacation Rentals and Coastal Vacation Properties and Coastal Vacation Development.
That's correct.
Right, not rentals, properties and development, which is new, which we'll talk about. But I have to tell a quick story about. You
Here
may
we go.
not know that this white watch here he gave it to me, and geez, it's got to be 2 years ago now, where we were sitting at Pete's Timeout and doing a show there, and I was being a total jackass, and I was giving you crap about your super nice watch.
But
And
look
now
at
you
how
gotta really-
came on now.
Dude, the
he's
dude
all
is-
GQ.
No, dear,
He even
he's
got
always
you an
that
out-
way.
He even got you
He
clothes.
bought clothes. That's
But
right. He
You
bought it
can't
for
fix this.
He bought it for somebody that
you
was
can't
thin.
fix. There's only so much lipstick you can put
I
on
know.
a pig, and you're not gonna fix
But
this.
dude, we still can't figure out how to
Yes, he
change the
needs-
watch back and forth. Like it's still right now. It's 5 after 10 on this watch because you got to go on you. I'm not complaining because we had somebody that got on YouTube once and changed it back.
yeah,
Yeah. And now you got a super nicer watch on. I mean, what the hell is that thing there? I mean, no. Did you send me your watch and bought yourself a new watch, or
No, I actually bought
you got to get
Keep
close
that
to the
I
mic?
bought you the woman's watch. I actually have the men's. Yeah, I thought you had a small wrist, so I figured.
Yeah, I
He
certainly
does,
do,
too.
man. I got girly wrists,
He
so.
does.
But you're always GQing it, man. When you
Yeah.
come on the show, you always. It doesn't matter how hot it is. You're wearing a sweater right now. I mean, but you got to
It
look good,
breathes,
right? You
it
got to look good.
breathes.
Yeah. And so you sent me some.
always perfectly coiffed.
yes.
He's got the
Does he have cologne on?
Yeah.
Who
yeah.
wears cologne to the beach? Peter Albert does right there. You got to look the part, man. So,
It's your toolbox. You
Yeah.
gotta, you know.
so let's go back a couple
well, that
years.
explains it because he doesn't know how to do anything, so he has no toolbox.
No toolbox.
So there you
My
go.
toolbox is empty. So
And Tony can attest to that.
yeah,
when he
he's
comes
our
on
toolbox.
next.
So, well, speaking of that, we had to change a light bulb yesterday outside our front house, and I'll go up 4 rungs on a ladder. The 5th
was
rung,
pathetic.
I feel like I'm gonna start shaking. I feel like I'm gonna fall off the ladder. So I was like, you got to change the
So
light
guess
bulb
who
here.
got the light bulb?
Because I got one out, but I couldn't get the other one out. I was
and
afraid
he
I was
wouldn't
gonna.
let go with
No,
one hand.
I
and
always
you
have to hold
have
on to the
2
ladder with
hands.
one hand. So
He's up there like he's all white as a ghost. I'm like, are you gonna pass out?
Sissy
Get
Mary right here,
down.
Sissy Mary. So Peter, take us through what happened with you when the storm came through?
Well, watching 11 and a half hours of the hurricane hit and, not knowing what actually happened, and at the time we had 280 units between single family and condos. In 11 and a half hours, I watched it pretty much wash away. We had about 135 single family, multifamily homes. Out of that, about 60 of them just washed away. They were gone.
Wow.
And I was once we were able to get over the beach, I had to, I was the guy that had to ride the bike down and take pictures of the empty lot for my clients. So it was a difficult time. My building was underwater, 9.5 feet.
Because you were right over the bridge.
Right over the bridge, yeah. And so, just like the people who lived on the beach, we were devastated as well. So it was a difficult time. I knew I had to do something, so I contacted contractors. I got them in here, and we got to work. We worked with the town. We worked by getting permits. We also, helping the neighbors. I mean, there was so many times that the neighbor needed help. I mean, I don't want to cry because it was the next door neighbor who her whole life was in under mud. And so it was a long journey to get to the point where at least after the first of the year when we were able to start renting some homes, and FEMA knows what they're doing. And the reason why that is the reason why the homes that sustained this hurricane, they were built within the past 10 years.
Mhm.
So we were able to get those back up and running. And believe it or not, which was which was exciting to me, was I didn't think anybody was going to come down here on vacation. But people have been coming to Fort Myers Beach for years, just called up and said, do you have anything available? And next thing you know, we had about 30 houses by March. We were fully booked. And it was just a great thing because they were here to support us, support the community. And, from there, we kept going, and we're back up to 175 units now.
So
Wow.
when you came over the bridge and rode your bike from the bridge to wherever you had to go, how far did you get before there was no sand on Estero Boulevard?
There was nowhere. The whole
Okay.
island was sand. It was, I was able to get over a little bit earlier just because the fire chief saw me at my building and brought me over. And let me tell you something. It was a life-changing moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know.
Yes.
Ed, you were down here quite a bit, and both of you guys were a key component to this because just getting over the bridge or getting to the bridge was important. There was no news. I mean, I can remember driving, taking a left on Pine Ridge, and the military there with their machine guns.
Yeah.
I guess I could say this much. We watch it on TV. We watch what happened in Louisiana, and that storm just destroyed their community.
Katrina.
Yeah, Katrina, and we were able to donate money, but actually, until it happens to you,
Yeah.
it's a game changer. It's a life changer.
The thing that was odd, like you feel like you're in a Mad Max movie, is seeing the people that are walking with the basket, the shopping basket that we used to have in the old days, leaving the path mark with all their belongings, trying to flag down a military vehicle so that they get to the other side of the bridge. And then where do they go?
Where do you
At
go?
that point, at least you're off the island.
Yeah.
But, part of it was once you got off the island and you went down maybe 2 miles, it was almost like nothing happened.
Well,
I gotta tell you, I
it
live about
extended pretty
Yeah,
far.
I live about
Not this bad, though. Not this bad.
I live
Not
about
this
2.5
bad,
miles
but-
off the island, and we didn't get power until a month later.
Yeah.
So
pretty
it was
far.
difficult. We were having people calling, canceling, freaking out. We couldn't get to them. I just didn't have it. I wouldn't have the ability. I mean, there was no internet. There was no.
Yeah.
I had my staff lost their homes.
Right.
It gets into more deeper. I had 60 employees before the hurricane,
Wow.
and I had 0 the day after the hurricane, and so it became, again, a moment where you just had to make some decisions, and
What's that, Peter? What's that like? Like you're pretty flying high before the storm. Like you got how many properties did you
we
say
were,
you
we
had?
were about 287 properties.
287 properties, and the storm comes by and totally wrecks your business. I mean, when you walk around September 29th, what's going through your mind? How depressed are you?
I will tell you, I was depressed. Well, I was more depressed because when I got over the island, to not only see, what happened, to myself and my clients, but also to the community. And it was just devastating because it was like their whole life was here, and next thing you know, it was gone. At least I had a house to go back to, even though there
I
was
think
no
at
power.
that point, you're not even thinking about
No.
your business. I mean, I don't think you can even. It's just helping people. It's
It
just
was, yeah.
figuring out what people need.
My landscaper, Mike, very intricate piece of what happened. We were, pulling out, all the mud and all the debris, from everywhere. It was just everywhere. And I tell you, I had to leave the island at 2:00 every day. I went home and I cried. I couldn't. It was devastating. And even my wife said I have PTSD because it's just
Right.
I just think about it. Now things are going so well, but looking in the, I really haven't looked back very much, but I am now.
It's
Right.
it's coming up on 2 years.
Yeah.
It's coming up on 2
years.
years, which is
Yeah.
hard to believe. And I know some people have just come down for the first time, and it still looks crazy. But we were talking about Primo, we're going to actually do a walk around with Peter on Primo next Saturday. But that was one of the first streets we went down was Primo.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a street, obviously. It was just pieces of buildings. There were unopened liquor bottles all the way down Primo, like
Yeah.
standing up
There was
straight.
a lot of broken ones,
Yeah.
but yeah, there were a few.
Refrigerators here.
A toilet.
I mean,
Yeah.
then you go the
somebody's
next
roof.
street over to Palermo, and the cottage roof was there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
stood
yeah.
up. I stood up on 3 roofs, and I was 35 feet high, just
Yeah.
standing on their roofs. So, you know, I will tell you though, you know, it didn't take me long to decide that this wasn't going to define me, define this community, and define my customers. And I got into gear, and I said, I'm not going to lose this thing. So, you know,
How did you rebuild? What'd you do?
Well, and,
one
and
step at a time.
what was the timeline? Like, when did you start focusing on rebuilding the business? Because there was that time where
So I was able to start to assess things within the first 60 days. By going into the third month, I was able to assemble multiple contractors. I was in communications with my owners. My staff was trying to get the money back to the guests. It was a mess. That was a whole mess.
How much did you have to refund?
Couple million.
Shit.
Yeah. And the thing
Shoot.
is, though, we were freaking out because we weren't calling them back. Well, unfortunately, our cell phones didn't work.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I had no internet. And there's some of my competition, on the beach. I don't know if you guys know, the only 2 other companies that really are around, they're national companies. Sun Palace was bought out by a national company. Same with Distinctive. They were bought out by a national company. They have offices everywhere else.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They could just
so they could float that that
Or they could
decrease.
answer the phone.
they could refund their money.
Right.
When you don't have internet, you can't do
Yeah.
it.
Right.
So at the time, once we got back up, I changed my business model, and now if it happened again, I make a phone call and it would.
Okay, so you know now.
But lessons learned, I guess.
Right.
What was the first place that you rented after the storm? Where was it?
The first place I rented was, I think, 226 Delmar, and then the Delmar properties came up. Those are all single-family homes that were up high enough that did not have any water on their first floor. So we were able to assemble them. We did have a few contractors, and that's what I thought the first year we were going to rent to. But I'm glad we didn't, because we did rent to a couple of them. They were not so clean,
Who are they? Name them.
I won't say that. No,
Are they still around doing
They were
work?
intricate pieces of helping out, so they were here to help.
Yeah, okay.
So, look, this community's coming back pretty strong here.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to. That's why, I formed Coastal Vacation Development. And I had a lot of the agents come to me and say, because they've seen I built on the island, they've seen I've remodeled a lot of houses on the island, all specifically vacation rental. So now we formed Coastal Vacation Development. We have 5 models that we're building. They're all vacation rental. They're all my mastermind of what I know will not only sustain multiple renters, but also it will the product is a
So
higher
what's the
income.
difference?
Well, can I ask a question?
Go ahead, ask a
then?
question. You're
Thank you.
monopolizing the show today.
I am.
Yeah, you are.
You are.
But your hair looks lovely.
Well,
How did you
thank
get your
you.
hair done and
Thank
work
you.
out at the?
Thank
You worked out this
I'm
morning.
very quick. I'm very quick.
You didn't take a shower though.
Well, I took a shower before I came.
All right, and then
Did you
worked
take
out.
a shower?
I'm on my 3rd set of clothes right now.
Yeah,
That's
you're
how hot it is
disgusting.
outside. It's
So-
so nasty.
The what you're building? What are you building? Modular? Are you
Nope.
building?
I'm building straight, homes that I've designed, especially from a structural standpoint. What I saw out here on the beach, what worked, what didn't work. The stairwells, the way they were built, that no longer were there anymore. So I focused on the structural part of it. We call this purpose building. I purposely designed these homes for structural to sustain another hurricane, as if we had the same hurricane. And secondary, I structured as vacation rental. So
Okay.
like my big 6-bedroom house that are going up on Primo and on Carolina, they're 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and they're going to be set up for multiple families to come down and utilize them. What goes in these houses, I have no upgrades because everything's upgraded. My wife is my designer, so she's picked out 5 color patterns, and pretty much it's pretty simple. We've done it all. And then the next thing is, once they're done, my wife will do the furnishings, and then it moves into my vacation rental. So we're a turnkey operation here.
Sweet. So your wife was planning on coming today, but
She was, unfortunately, our sitter for my son.
I see.
Wasn't
I
able to
gotcha.
come.
Gotcha.
But she's sort of the magic. If you're able to go to our website and see some of our product and the design, my wife, she specifically does only vacation rental. It is an art for her, and it helps with people searching all over the country, looking at Fort Myers Beach and seeing our product. So she's an intricate piece of this business model.
I can't even pick out a couch, and she's just picking out everything for these.
She
houses.
just finished a Gulf
clickety-clack,
front.
clickety-clack.
She just finished a duplex on the Gulf front, $7 million Gulf front, 2 5-bedrooms. She just furnished them all. She brought a team.
So Peter, is Fort Myers Beach a tourist island first, or is it a resident island first? What is your?
Oh boy!
There's your gotcha question.
No, it's a simple question.
It
Nobody.
is a simple question.
Yeah.
Fort Myers Beach is both. Okay. And if you look at the island, the way the island is set up, I truly believe it's set up the right way. Majority of the second home and primary residents are more towards the middle and south end of the island. And then the weekly rentals are all from the north end to mid island. And so the zoning is set up that way. And I got to tell you, when they did it right. So to answer your question, we've had this goes all the way back to when Roger was the town manager.
We've vowed never to say that name
sorry.
on our show again. I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
Ed
Sorry.
just almost dropped
I
his
know.
mic.
I just wet my
I know he was
diaper when I heard that name.
Where he was, again, they were sort of fighting the vacation rental and saying that we, trying to sort of, I don't want to say kick us out, but change the way we do business. Look, Fort Myers Beach, people have come here for year after year.
Yes.
20 years. Then their grandkids or their children, then their grandkids. And that's what we're building here. If you look at the way that the island's moving, it's going to be the same way. This is a family area in all of Florida. This is going to be the shiny new penny of Florida. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I
I
agree.
think that's over the years that we've been doing the show. Like when I go on vacation or we go on vacation from up north and we'd go to the beach and we're like, oh yeah, insert beach name here. That's great. We had a good time. But you're not going back. You're not going back. You're not building that sense of community. And I think that's what we saw here. It's like, wow, even the people that are here on quote unquote vacation are coming here on vacation for the last 20 years. And when you add that amount of time up, they're been here a while. They're like residents. So I think,
where did that come from? That's what I want to know.
Well, what
on
I've
your
seen,
soapbox
what
right
I see
there.
with a
Wow.
lot of these
I
people.
don't think it's a soapbox. I just think it's a reflection of the community
Yes.
that isn't really considered full time, but
Yeah.
it is a community.
You're
it's
talking like that guy on the NFL Today on CBS, the guy
The guy you love?
You kind of look like him a little bit. What's his name? What is his name? What
I
is the
don't
guy?
know.
The NFL
He
guy.
always has
he talks
a
with his
suit on,
hands.
though.
Terry
He drives
Bradshaw
him
at
nuts.
CBS. He
Go
drives me.
ahead.
Peter doesn't talk with his hands, so
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
This island is gonna. I mean, it was beautiful then. I'm sad that it's not gonna have that old Fort Myers Beach.
Why are you sad, Peter? Why does it make you sad?
Well, because it's like the cottage. I used to love to go
Right.
there. You'd meet the most interesting people.
But
People-
Peter, if we're being honest
the
with each
unique-
other,
But
some of those places needed to come. I'm not saying the cottage,
Well-
but some of those places were hanging on by a
by a thread. Yeah, I know.
and it was like you
But
look
you
in the
want
back and you're
some
like, they're cooking my
uniqueness.
food back there. I can't believe that.
No, but you want some unique,
Yeah.
you want a diverse community. And, that's going to be hard now because everything's got to be, a lot of everything's
It's
got to
gotta
be
be
new.
up to code and-
So
Yeah.
you can't,
Don't you
I
want
don't
it to
care how
last?
you try and paint it. You're not going to make it
If you
look
go
old.
down Old San Carlos
I
and you
wasn't
go to
talking.
Wahoo Willie's or Nervous Nelly's, what's wrong with that? What's
Nothing at
wrong
all.
with that being old school right down
I
there?
love it there. I love it.
Now,
right?
speaking of down in that area, Peter, the Moss Marina folks are thinking of building 3 hotels down there with,
Yes.
with 263 rooms. You love it, don't you?
I do. I think it's actually an addition to this community. And same with Times Square. I was at the event with Times Square. I saw the drawings. I believe, to me, that is a great use of that land. Obviously, the town has to make some changes. It's like Margaritaville. They came in. This was a much larger development,
yeah.
and they brought it
Yeah.
down. Right.
Yeah.
So this whole community is going to change. It's going to evolve. We are going to be a part of this change and the evolution of this community.
But here's the thing. when you go to Wahoo Willie's, we go to Wahoo Willie's because we want to see Aaron, or we want to see Peter, or we want to see
yes, of
Crazy
course.
Nick and
Yeah.
his Sanford and Son truck. I mean, that's the beach vibe. It's not a building or or a structure or something like that.
It's
the
both.
people.
It's,
the people.
both, though.
it-
It's both. It's,
Yeah.
It's the people inside
Yeah.
the buildings. What do you think about AstroTurf?
You like that?
You know what? I'm coming along with it. I mean, not that I want it.
You don't have to go
see
along
a
with
lot-
everything.
I've seen a lot of it out there because we manage quite a few properties, and
Have
even
you walked on it when it's hot? Because there's a big debate about how
it is hot. It is hot.
Okay.
It is hot.
Like
It
burn
is
your
hot.
feet hot?
Yeah, it can be.
Oh,
it can be. It can
geez.
be.
So you know what I noticed doing the walk-arounds? A lot of the people are changing from grass to rock or shell.
Yes.
Why is that? I don't know why I'm
Um,
asking you that, but I'm
Well,
sure you know.
Well, no, I do know because we're building these houses and
Yeah.
we're making decisions, and the difference is the maintenance. But no matter what, if you lay down the underlaying and you put the shell or the rock, you're still going to have
Weeds.
and you're going to need to spray it. So there is I guess it's preference really
Yeah.
at this point.
Are you allowed to use Roundup to spray in the rocks on Fort Myers Beach?
No, you're not, my friend. No, you're not.
I saw Greg Skasny using Roundup one day. I got a picture
Yeah.
of it.
No,
So have you been paying attention to the politics on the island?
I have what I can. Yeah.
Okay, so there are 3 seats up for election. And
Correct.
there are 4 candidates.
Yep.
If you could vote for 3 people, who would you vote for?
Danger, Will.
That is a danger.
Oh, come on, man. Nobody watches
There's some
our
really
show.
good. There's some really great candidates out there.
Are you running for office? I just answered the question, bro. Come on.
He doesn't have to.
Come on, answer the question.
I'll pass on that.
Oh, come
pass
on.
on that
Why?
one.
Why?
I'll be,
Because you
what?
gotta get
I'll
along with
support-
It's none
everybody.
of your
You know-
business.
Dear, every once in a while, I would like you to go along with one of my questions.
I am
Just
never
one of
go-
my
no,
questions
I
would
don't
be
want to
nice.
go along with anything you
Yeah.
say.
No, actually,
Gotten us in trouble.
if I had a vote, I'd call in sick that day. That's what I would do. I mean, they're all terrible. All 4 of them are terrible,
No,
and they shouldn't even be running.
No, I know Scott Scafford very well. I think he's a great candidate. He's right now he's doing well. He's in the vacation rental space, so he understands what we go through. So that's one person that I would throw my support behind.
Okay, all right. So that's all I needed to know.
That's all you need to know.
So, if people wanted to rent one of your properties, where would they go to find out more information?
So I was thinking about this on the way here. I'm going to give your listeners sort of a secret of vacation rental. Okay. So the best place to go is directly to our website, which is coastalvacationproperties.net. And here's why. If you go through Airbnb, HomeAway, Expedia, they charge you service fees, and it's absorbent. And I'll use Airbnb as an example. Airbnb charges you 9%. So if you come directly to our site or call in, you can negotiate, depending on how your stay. The longer the stay, the more
Right.
apt we will be negotiating. But coming directly to our site
Huh.
will save money. Can I give you some information about?
Is that kind of
Hell yeah.
is that industry standard pretty
Yeah,
much?
so no matter where
anybody
you go,
you're going,
no matter where you go,
You wanna
anywhere,
try and
anywhere in the
contact-
country, anywhere in the world, what you want to do is you go to that community and you Google vacation rental, and in there you
Okay.
find the local companies and you go directly to them. And there's a little money saver to all your listeners.
I didn't
we
know
would
that.
like to go to Moab, so next
Yeah, we
time
love
we gotta
Moab.
look.
Have you been to Moab?
No, I've never been to Moab.
We should go together and ride bikes. No.
go.
But you
I'll pack my
got to
bag.
dress down a little bit
I
when we
will.
go on.
So listen, I would like to share with your listeners
Yeah.
a little bit about the beach and about vacation rental. So I pulled some statistics last week because I knew I was coming on the show. So obviously, the first year out, it was very difficult for us. Last year, we did fairly well. I mean, coming into this year in season, last year, this season, before the season, this time of year, we were about 6% booked for next season. We were freaking out saying, oh my God, are we going
Yeah.
to even rent it?
Right.
And then unfortunately, we had the cold front that was for 2 months.
Oh
my
That really
God,
hurt
it's
us here in
awful.
the community. And then, second week of February going into March and April, we did very well. Now, the good news is, as of last week, same time last year, we're up 27%.
Wow.
So
That's
we
great.
have people that are already booked for next year,
That's great.
27%. And so which for us, we think we're going to have a very good season.
That's great. That's
So,
good news
you
for
know,
everybody too.
Yeah, it's a very good
Yeah.
thing for us, you know. And you
Are
know,
you getting the rates you want to get?
well, I will tell you, I also looked at rates, and you know, I've seen some people complain about the pricing. We are at right now the rates today. We're at 2019 rates. If you go back historically from year to year to year, we're at 2019. We were at the height of our rental was around in the 21. After the pandemic, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
And we
People
ran
wanted to
all
get
the way
out.
through all year
Yeah.
long. It was insane.
Yeah.
So, and then we started leveling off. Now, on a national level, okay, you know, vacation rentals down, and the average, the usually was 90 to 120 days average before they rented. We're now less than 30 days. So everybody's booking last, and the booking window has decreased. It used to be 7 days. We're now at about 4.5 days.
Really?
Yeah. So those are some things, you know, you can think
That's
about.
great stats to know.
And yeah, they are. And so the good news is I'm pretty sure we're going to have a very good season. Hopefully
Oh,
your
yeah.
listeners will call in and, you know, reserve with us. And we
give
have
them a number.
properties coming
Give
back.
them a phone number too.
Uh,
Just go to the website or phone number.
yeah, just go to my website.
Okay.
It's much easier.
Yeah, then they can see all of the properties,
All of our
right?
properties, yeah.
How many
And
properties do you have active
we're
right
back
now?
up to 165, 167. I've got about another
Wow.
30 more coming on.
Do you have
So-
the majority of the properties on the island?
We do, yeah.
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 Awesome.
Yeah.
And are they all big homes or is it a
They run
variety?
from condos on the north side, the single family homes. We have some multi-family homes. We just picked up a duplex on Primo. The owners were in yesterday having a wonderful conversation about rentals. But we'll obviously that's why we're building our houses specifically for vacation rental. And I think over the next year, we're going to see a lot of the condos starting to come back on again. You know, a lot of them taking that position that they're
Dude,
just
I have to
fixing
tell
up.
you a story. I get some emails from different condos on the island, like that I've never reported on, and that I probably will never report on. It's so unfortunate for some of the condos on this island.
Yeah.
It's nice to see some of them open and some of them that are going to be open, but some of them are like they're you have HOAs fighting with owners, and how do you get out of that circle? If you have to
Unfortunately-
sue your HOA, you're basically suing yourself.
Unfortunately, it's become a little bit of a mess, and I feel bad for the.
Yes.
I feel bad for the. And again, there's a lot of things they can't. Unfortunately, they can't help. They've got expenses.
Yeah.
But the owners that have been sitting around paying those HOAs
Oh,
and paying mortgages on
And
these
the
things,
assessments.
and
Yeah.
assessments,
And they can't rent.
and they can't rent. And I have about 140 of them that were my customers in whatever position they're in. So we get updates every once in a while, but God, I got to tell you, it's like every time I think they're going to come on, it's another 6 months.
There's so much more to the condo story that people don't know
They don't
about, and
know.
it sucks
Yeah.
so much
Yeah, it
because
does.
yeah. So all right, so you gave out your website. How many push-ups can you do in 1 minute?
Right. I don't know, Ed.
Oh, come on,
I
man.
don't
Yeah, I
know.
know you work out.
I work out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
I play a lot of pickleball. I played pickleball this morning.
Where'd you play?
nice.
I play at Brooks, which is south of
Yeah, we know where that is.
Batesfield.
Yeah.
I play there about 5 days a week.
Well, you know, as I was pondering what my next business brilliance was going to be, I think that if I opened up an indoor pickleball court somewhere, like with 6 courts, you can rent them out for $30 an hour. How much do you pay for a pickleball court?
I don't pay anything, but
Oh.
there's a whole thing with the
That's
Cape.
a great business
They've
model
got
there,
34
I gotta
courts
do a little
opening
more
up in the
research.
Cape.
Yeah.
So
Are there a lot of indoor pickleball courts in
not
Fort Myers?
really, but
You see?
there is a few, and they
Yeah.
do very well.
Dear, I'm on top of it. When I was one of the first people to open a
Pickleball
gym
is
in this
gonna
town.
be-
Can I go back to a question you asked this couple here?
Yes.
About the parking. So I believe the parking.
Well, it was traffic, but you
Oh.
can answer about parking.
traffic, but parking
Okay,
was part
okay.
of it.
What?
You know, across the street from my building, used to be the old Shriners. That building's for sale. I think the town and and Lee County need to purchase that and
Yes.
put a 6-story parking
Oh, yeah.
garage for short and long-term parking. That will help, you know. And if you know, and again, you know, that's. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a solution, but to me,
Wait,
it's
when
a good start.
you're okay, your building is over the bridge,
Yes.
next to the strip club,
Close to it.
dude. What happened? All of a sudden, that building
That
was
thing's
going
gone.
up so fast, and then it's just stopped. What
I
happened?
can't answer. Well, no, they're
Are they working on
through
the
it. I don't
inside?
know.
Why are you chuckling? I mean, can you come up with something just a little bit different to
All right,
welcome people
move
to the
on
island?
to where he is.
You know it's going to be Vegas lights and the whole thing, and so your building is unfortunately right next to that.
It's
so
not
when
right
you
next to it, Ed.
it's across the street.
No, it's a couple lots down.
Or a couple lots down. So it's going to be completely blocked by the stripper poles. I mean, which really sucks. So, so when you say across the street, I
That's
don't
the
know
old-
what the
it's-
Shriners
it's
was.
the old Shriner building. It's that big building across the street. There's 5 lots there. You could probably park 500 to 700 cars there.
Wow,
Is if you did a parking garage. So
dude,
there's my
gonna be-
suggestion. There's my
gonna-
suggestion for
There
the
you
parking.
go.
There's going to be a 240 room resort hotel down on Main Street over there too. I
know
mean,
there is.
that'll be good for the strip club, but I don't know if that'll be. I mean,
Ed, you're so fixated on those strip.
it's just bizarre to me that they were able to
Have
build
you
a
ever
building.
been in one?
Never in my life.
Okay.
Dear, never in my life. I don't even know what do they have in there. They have. I don't even know what.
I don't know,
have in
but they had the tent, which was pretty interesting.
there. I think they had the tent because they needed to keep like the
They had
liquor
to keep,
license
they had
alive.
to keep the license. That's at least what I heard. Yeah.
Do you need a license to have? Never mind. Who cares?
I don't
All right, give out your website one more time, Peter Albert.
Coastalvacationproperties.net.
And there's a little bar on the top where you can click on it where it has GQ clothing, by the way. I didn't know if you knew that, but thank you so
Thanks,
much, man.
bud. All right,
And thank
guys.
you for supporting the show for so long. Appreciate it. Peter Albert, everybody. I didn't mean that. So, all right, before we get to
You
our
know what
next. Go
what-
ahead. Go ahead.
No, he's going to go off, but I'm going to say this. I think that his next business venture
Yeah.
is going to be designing clothes.
Oh, for sure. Man,
Coastal
for sure.
designed clothes,
He is-
vacation wear. No vacation
We're
wear.
gonna have a business meeting about pickleball. So now I forgot what I was gonna say. Dang it! It was gonna
You're
be
going to
really
do
good.
your
I'm gonna read an ad,
ads.
then Greg's gonna come on because I have a question for him. All right, you
What
want to
about
take a break,
Tony?
and then Tony's coming on. Hey, listen, there's no hard stop here. As long as we have more than 13 listeners, which was our average at Pete's Timeout, I want to tell you about Eagle Eye Aluminum, everybody. Tom is the man with 5 wives, and you've seen him on our show on Sundays at Wahoo Willie's, and he's got a great business called Eagle Eye Aluminum, and they specialize in seamless gutters as well as aluminum and vinyl soffit and fascia repairs or full replacement. He also does rescreen work, because the last thing you need is to be sitting by your pool and those pesky mosquitoes climb through that tiny little hole and bite you right on the arse. That's the last thing you need, because when you have one of those big bites on your arse, then you know how it is. Kim, it happens to her all the time because I can't fix the screen. All right, so give Tom a call because he's sitting in his car right now waiting for you to call him. Hi, how are you? 239-340-1639, 239-340-1639, or you can email him, eagleeyealuminum@gmail.com, eagleeyealuminum@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Skasny is going to join me for 4 minutes, exactly 4 minutes. You have to sit right next to me because my wife is working the crowd. She's good at it. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you and your wife are always here for the show. Thank you.
You know, you do a great service for Ireland, regardless of
Oh,
anybody says. You do. So, you know, you got to
I
come
have to
support
stop
it.
you right now. Greg is running for office. That's why he's kissing ass, even though I don't have a vote. And I'm happy that your wife is here. Where's your son today?
My son is at scuba camp.
Wow.
So just right over the bridge, there's a scuba school
Nice.
that lets young kids. We have a bunch of island kids there right now.
Yeah.
And they're taking scuba lessons.
Very
10
nice.
years old, taking scuba lessons.
So I texted you after my show, our show last night that we did at Diamond Head about the brand new proposal for the arches at the Moss Marina property. And your verdict on that is
We're starting to get in the right direction, but
you're
there's
still a no.
Well, here's
What is
here's
the
way-
right
here-
direction for you on
again,
that?
I don't know. I wish I had. It's not my business. You know, I can't tell them how to run his business. But the problem that they're going to have there is it's zone marina. Its future use is zone marina. The comp plan and the future land use development is marina. And the comp plan says we should covet, and that's right, not the exact word, but we should covet marinas on the island. So to give up that land use to put a resort in, that's a really big ask. So is it the right area to do something like that down there? Yeah, this is in the gentleman that was on before. I do tend to agree with him and say, down here is where we need to have things that are, for tourists and people to come do things, and it's the right plan for that. The issue with what Moss wants to do is the island will lose a marina, and that's a huge resource and a huge benefit to
But
the
that
island.
has nothing to do with
It has
whether or
everything to
not
do with
you
it.
would
It's-
vote on it if you're on the town council.
Well, but that has to come into play with it. That again, that's something the staff needs to look at, and the LPA needs to look at. Is that
There's no requirement for a business to have a marina compared to a resort. I
That's
knew
what
you
it's
have to
zoned.
make changes.
it's zones?
Well,
You'd have, and it's zoned. Its future use is zone marina too.
Yeah.
So
you
you
have to make
change
changes.
that use.
But you have
and
to
that's a-
admit,
that's
but you
a-
have to admit,
Mm.
when you saw those pictures, you would think, man, that looks way nicer than those 4 ugly blue
But
buildings.
it's still a huge 7-story structure there.
It is.
right?
It is. But
again,
it's not
and it
blocking
needs to
anyone's
be-
view. It's
but
not.
it needs. But there's still residential properties back there
True,
that they're going
true.
to use. And,
Yes.
and those sorts of things. All those details need to be worked out. Again, I haven't seen all those details. But again, when I talk about when me and Scott run again, what I'm going to say is that people want to go fast. The town's not stopping anybody from going fast,
Mhm.
right? If you want to build right now and you want to build back what you can by right, you can just go. Just
Yeah.
like me with my house. Like I didn't need any variances, and I'm going. It's not the town that's stopping people from going fast. It's people who want a lot of additional density. They want a lot of additional density. They have none, basically. Those things should take time, and we should really vet those and ask those questions
But
about
it'll go
what's
through the
best for the
process.
community.
It'll go through the
will.
process. It'll go through
Yep.
the LPA process. It'll go through the town council. And he did come down quite a bit because it seemed like the biggest concern for that was it was too big. It was too many rooms. There was too much density. And I think that
And
It'll
he's still
probably come
asking
down
for
to
a whole
density.
lot more density,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
he has basically none right now, right? So it's a marina. It's zone use for a marina. So there's basically there's some, but it's
so
none.
your vote, if you saw that
I'm
right
not
in front
saying
of
what
you
my vote.
now,
Again, I don't.
Your vote
I
is
wouldn't.
no.
I wouldn't.
your vote is no,
I
Greg.
think we
Just
have to
be
we
a
have to look-
man and vote. Just be. I want people that come on the show to be like Peter Albert. Just freaking
Right,
answer the
but
question.
what you're
Your
saying
vote is
that
no. You don't want to vote now because you're not elected yet, and you
I'm
don't
not
want
elected.
to. And you don't want to.
as a
you
resident,
don't want
I
to show your
still-
cards.
Well, that's part of it, but part of it is we have to be reasonable. But
Well, okay,
on both
what's
sides-
reasonable over there?
and again, I don't think what he's proposing is 100% reasonable. Again,
Well, is it 90% reasonable? Is it 50% reasonable? I mean,
I haven't seen all the
stop
details of it
speaking in
yet.
tongues to
Well,
me.
but I
Just-
haven't seen all the details yet. You want to put me on the
You
spot and
sound
say I
like
haven't seen all
Dan.
the
You
details.
sound like Dan now. You
But-
sound like so. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. So
But
when
I
he says
haven't.
that, when he says that tomorrow, I'm going to
He-
pull a picture up and say, "Well, here it is.
Yeah,
You can
here-
see
well,
it
here's
right now."
part of it, right? Here's kind of what it looks like.
Right, and
kind of
it's
what we're
not the
thinking.
greatest picture, but you have to admit that the neighborhood company hiring the neighborhood company was smart because
So I
those
will-
guys get shit approved.
Well, I will tell you that, and this is a weird thing. So
It is a weird thing.
You know my stance on development. You know Patrick's stance. Patrick's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Like his son is with my son right now. I respect
Are
Patrick's
they having
opinion
fist
a
fights
lot.
and all that because of you two?
Well, no, what Patrick knows his stuff. I'm not gonna lie. He when it comes to what can be done now, but Patrick's also a great salesman, as he should be. That's part of his job. And I love him for it. And I ask Patrick a lot of questions when something comes up. I ask his opinion because I respect his opinion. I don't agree with his opinion most of the time,
Mhm.
but I respect it because he knows what he's doing. And so I
But
don't think
here's-
hiring a local. I'm never going to say anything bad about
Yeah.
anybody hiring a local.
Here's
So-
the challenge that I don't know who could stand up to this. Like I was saying this, I don't know if I said it on the show last night or before the show to those guys. When you look at the Beacon Motel, that unique little motel in front of the cottage, it's not coming back. He wants to make it a parking lot. Well, those units are never coming back.
Sure.
There's some motels that were across the street from Lynn Hall Park. Doesn't look like they're ever coming back. So those units are gone forever. So what number were we at before the storm came through? What number are we at now? And there should be like a running number on the Chamber's website where you can say, okay, well, Ben wants 163 units and there's 700 that are never coming back. That's fair. That's fair.
But what people also
But for people on the island, some residents on the island, like you, I think, they don't want them ever to come back.
Well, again, but what people need to realize is if everybody builds back by right, if everybody builds back what they can by right, that means not going through the LPA, not asking for a variance.
Yeah.
The island will be twice, by some estimations, a conservative estimate, the island would be twice as dense as it was before
How
the
do you?
storm.
Where'd you come up with that?
That's not
Who
just
came
me.
up with that?
I'll find you the source of that.
I mean, you just made that up
I
out
did
of
not
thin
make that up.
air. I
Absolutely
mean, how
not.
do you
Nope.
come up with
I
that?
was told that by several local developers
How would that even make any sense? Like,
because of what
by
you're able,
right.
because of what you're what
but
was
you
here.
but you're not factoring in the things that are never coming back.
few and far between.
How do you know? How many
But-
are we down
What do you
right now?
think's
Let's
not
talk
coming
about
back?
The beacon's not coming back. There's condos that are probably never coming
But
back.
something's
I'm gonna
going to
tell
come
you-
back in
yeah.
its place.
Yeah.
Same thing like Strandview's being
Is
tore
there a
down.
big noise? Did you hear a big noise? What is that?
I don't hear.
It sounded like a siren or something. Did
You
somebody hear
just,
that?
it's just in your head.
Why is it my
Wow.
mind?
You need to stay off the psilocybin or the mushrooms.
Dear.
Oh,
Stay
come
out of
on, the
Be good for you.
mushrooms.
And
Jeez.
But no, but
stop running your mouth.
I
You're
was
running
jogging
out of
on. I was
time.
jogging on the beach today, and I was getting a contact high. I was like, well, "Who the hell is smoking weed at 6:00 in the morning? I can't even jog on the beach now." And pretty soon it's going to be legal.
Jog on the beach. You were barely walking.
I was-
But
I
you gotta realize
crawling.
a lot of the homes that were put up for sale and sold or come back as vacation rentals. Those are units that are going. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
Right behind me was the unit that there was a beach family living there and a lady who I
Yeah.
love dearly that she had to sell. And now it's a vacation rental. And those rooms are coming back. So those are the things that are going to happen that people don't realize. And again, the town is not stopping anybody from building back
I
fast.
know.
Build back to what you can by right, and you can go as fast as you want. If you want more, you want big buildings here, which again, that goes against our comprehensive plan. You want to change the use from a marina to commercial pedestrian, all those sorts. That's a huge zoning change. Those things should be vetted by the residents. They should be vetted and they will be.
I am going to set up a debate between you and Patrick Van Ness. Forget about
No,
Scott.
I won't do it.
Forget about Scott. We just need you and Patrick debating. We won't need to say
Me and
anything
Patrick
here.
debate enough. Like, but
Get a
we won't-
couple
we
of
won't know
drinks
anything
in
to
you
say.
to you. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
we got to figure out what your tell is.
No, because the perspective from you and the perspective from him are very
Well,
different.
Patrick has a business to run. He
But
runs a
that's
business.
different. He
his-
also lives on the island. You're being
but it's his-
unfair.
no, I'm not. It's
You're
his
being unfair
business.
because he has a different perspective. His perspective is let's build this. Oh, thank you, Tony.
Right,
We'll
and
get you on the
there
show
are other
too.
people on
Yeah,
island
dear,
who have
stop
that
running
opinion
your
too.
mouth.
Let's build. I sent you a picture last night of that picture was from the 70s that drew up about Sanibel. I'll send it to you again. It was on the
okay.
website.
I know
right
what you're
ahead,
talking
had all
about.
this
The
stuff.
picture that I remember you sending me was of the the Olympics
That
person.
wasn't me. That was Duello. Happy birthday, Steve Duello, by the way. Happy birthday,
It's
Sage.
today's birthday?
Today's Sage's birthday.
very
yes.
nice.
So
Oh,
happy
happy
birthday,
birthday.
Sage.
He lives on the island. He lives
He
on
lives on Fairview Lane.
Fairview Lane.
Fairview
They're
something.
rebuilding. They're rebuilding. All right.
Albatross.
How was your?
Albatross, that's it.
Hey, look
Sorry,
who's
thank
here,
you.
dear.
Hey, how
Yeah,
are
very
you?
nice. Our Cape Coral friends.
All right, dear.
So you got to get Tony
Move
on here.
along. Yes.
Tony.
The best
Tony's
painter
been
on the
waiting.
island, by the way.
I know you
Yeah.
want to keep arguing, but
Thank you, Greg. Greg is running for
I will
town
come up
council.
anytime.
Everybody,
Thank
look him
you.
up. Appreciate you
Tony.
coming to the show. Big hand for Greg. That's going to be Tony Bone is our next guest. Tony is I know you've been sitting here a while. You've been
and the
schmoozing.
business is actually Anthony Bone, right?
Yeah,
you use
correct.
your formal name,
So-
Anthony
Correct.
Bone Painting.
Just for full disclosure, we've been friends for now 15, 16 years. You helped with the gym that we had when we were in Gateway so much. You remember that gym when we opened up 100 years ago?
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking yesterday, I ran into Veronica, who you also know.
Talking
Veronica?
to who? I can't hear you.
At Sandcap Bank, I ran into Veronica.
Oh, Veronica.
And we were talking. She's got a new. He's not new anymore. He's like 17 months. She's got a baby, and how Jillian kind of grew up in the gym that we
Yep.
had, and went to school right across the street. And you were one of the first members back then. I think that might have been how we met back then. So
No, 08 crashed. I went broke, and you offered me a gym membership if I'd take care of your gym.
okay, you see, I didn't even remember that. So and now you're doing work on the beach. And first of all,
well, a lot has happened since 08, but the show's not that
Oh, yeah.
long, nor is
Yeah.
it about all of that.
and that would be a therapy session. So yeah,
No,
so
we started Beach Talk.
you didn't have anything
I
to do
know
with it.
you
so.
brought all the equipment. We
You
just
got to
rode our
keep the
bikes
mic
together.
close. And I
We
know
just
you're not
rode
shy.
our bikes together.
Yeah. So one time we used to ride our bikes and then meet at Pete's Time Out, and then he'd pay us $150 a show at Pete's Time Out, and then we would just drink the whole day. We would just sit out at the table, and we wind up spending $300. So it was a complete waste of time, but it was fun. And
Not
so,
anymore.
So one time he come over the bridge riding his bike, and what'd you do? You flipped over the bike and broke your something or other. Something
I
happened.
didn't break anything. I broke this right before the storm.
I see. I see. But that was
I did flip over that bridge.
Yeah, you're supposed to hit the brakes when you come over the bridge with the wind at your back because you can go really fast over that bridge. So
I love fast.
So your business, tell everybody about your business because you're also a sponsor of the show like Peter is, and we
Okay.
appreciate that. But we have more to talk about after you let everybody know what you do.
I started my business here in 1994, working at Bay Beach and working at the Privateer, doing the little condos, and it took off from there. And I guess we're a full service painting contractor, and we do interior, exterior, furniture, cabinets, all that. But my business is based on relationship.
Yeah.
Kind of like yours.
Yeah.
You've built all these
you've
relationships.
painted our house inside, out, and our cabinets.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But it's more than painting, so you should tell
Yeah.
people the other work that you do. So
I sculpt, I do faux finishes, I do
I love faux finishes.
anything you can imagine I can do.
What is a faux finish, by the way?
It's a fake finish.
Oh, it looks fake.
It's
Fancy
like
name
what we
for
had on
fake.
it's like what we have on our cabinets.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your
we really-
melamine cabinets.
Yeah.
you
You're
peel
like
the
a jack of all
plastics.
trades,
Yeah,
though.
for sure.
Too.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that
Yep.
you
Yeah.
help us out with. Well, not help us out with that you do, or
Yep.
I screw up and then you come and fix it.
So since the storm, let's talk about a little bit about that.
Yeah, this is important information.
And I'm not going to name places, houses, or addresses, but the amount of effery that you call, is going on. Not everywhere. There's some beautiful work. That house that Alex King showed this morning. I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at the walls and the woodwork, and does it look like glass? And there's houses out there that are being destroyed by unlicensed contractors with no management. I think that's the biggest problem. No one's managing their house. People live out of town, and things are going awry.
So how do people how does somebody wants to get back in their house? Their goal is to get back in their house, and they find somebody that says they're going to help them get back in their house, and they trust somebody, and these predators find somebody that really almost is like begging them to help them, and they take advantage of them. How do you know? What do you do to make sure that doesn't happen to you?
I don't know. Background check. You need to have someone managing your job, regardless. I'm sure Peter is managing his jobs. I'm sure Greg is managing his own house.
Right.
And all the people up and down the beach. The ones that aren't, that are out of town, that are just trusting and pulling the trigger because they want to get it done so they can get back in their house. Again, I sent you some video, and disastrous. Not everywhere. Like I said, like the house Alex King showed this morning. Absolutely beautiful.
So when someone's picking somebody, if they are out of town, you really need to. I mean, we hear this all the time. Your due diligence. Find reviews. Talk to people that have used people like we've used you. Not in a bad way. But so we can attest to the quality of work that you do.
Yes.
But people really need to be careful, especially if they're not here. And I mean, if they can get somebody, even if it's a neighbor, to go over, hey, is stuff going on? Is stuff getting done? Does the tile match, or is the tile all twisted and sideways?
Correct. And people call me up saying we're ready to paint, and I walk in the house and I'm like, no.
Are there
Right.
like gaps in between
There's
drywall?
garbage in the walls. It looks like someone hand painted the drywall mud on. It looks like,
Oh, you're not supposed to do that?
no.
Okay.
So
You're supposed to use that flat thing.
So
right?
for some reason, dear, John Lalo says, I'm sorry we were a waste of your time. Did I say something that made it sound like I was being offensive? I hope he's messing with me because he knows what I mean by that. I don't want him to think that he was the only reason we're doing the show is because he gave us a
Right.
break at the show.
Because he only paid you $150.
I know, what the hell,
When
you
it should have been
cheapskate. I
1,000.
knew how much you were making. No, I don't want him to think that.
I don't know if you said that you were spending your money down there.
I didn't mean it. I think he knows.
Didn't mean it derogatorily.
Because the last thing I want to do is hurt anyone's feelings, except for Greg. Yeah. So you were sending me some videos and pictures of places that you're going into now. It's like you have to go in and fix it before you can actually do your own work. It's insane when you showed me the pictures of the screws, like screws that were half in and half out. It was like that was bizarre.
That's the least of the problems.
What are some of
When-
the things that you've seen on this
What's
island?
the worst thing you've seen?
Dude, you're very animated today. What is going on with that? Why are you so
I don't-
animated?
because I'm getting ready to have to pull your foot out of your mouth because you
Shit.
keep putting it in there.
Anyway, I've seen someone put up $60,000 worth of stucco only to have it ripped off.
Why? What's wrong with those?
They were using beach sand, and the walls were as wavy as your mind and your psilocybin or whatever.
Wait, you guys got that? I didn't
Yeah.
get that. That went right
Yeah.
over my head.
You know, but put in the wrong windows. Everything was supposed to be Anderson. They put in trash and then tried to fill it with block fill. Every window, every door having to be removed, every bit of stucco having to be chipped off. And then while they're chipping the stucco off, a wall falls down.
Holy shit! So when they call you and you tell them all this, are they like that? I mean, they've already spent all that money on that stuff. What? How do you get out of that cycle of hell?
You don't. You tell them, I'm sorry, but this is not going to work. The whole interior of a house, putting one coat of mud on and then spraying whatever kind of texture they did, whatever. Anyway,
How do they get permits for that stuff?
they don't pull permits.
Okay, well there you go. I mean, I thought I knew the
Do you
answer
think
to
there's
that.
a lot of work that's been done on the island without a permit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody's looking through their work that's been done on their house and they're not 100% sure it looks right, can they call you?
Yes, but even the places that have pulled permits and do trash work, it has to be undone before it can be
I see.
redone.
Yeah.
So it's double.
It's not
if
like
not
you can just
triple.
come in and put paint
No,
on it and
no,
make it pretty.
no.
Yeah.
So do any of these people have any chance to file fraud claims against these contractors?
They can, but everybody doesn't want the hassle. They
Sure.
just want to be
They
done
want to be
with it.
back in their house. Yeah.
It's like you guys have been talking about. Everybody's been put through hell.
Yeah.
So they just want to be done. So they'll eat the money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not fair.
Yeah.
And then I feel guilty about charging them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what are some of the things you're working on now? Well, by the way, everybody, if you didn't know, I didn't mean to interrupt because I'm going to forget. Tony did
He's
paint
used to it.
the wavy wall in Times Square. Totally volunteered his time, and we raised the money for the paint, and that was a fun time. I mean, I know you were always looking at it and want to
Yeah.
touch it up, and
Yeah.
we got to contact the town for that. But you're always volunteering your time. You did some work on Bayside Park
Yeah, I
too.
did all the steel down there. Then we did a couple containers behind the ballpark so they weren't so ugly. Painted them green.
Nice.
And again, I want to say that to all town council and everybody that I've interacted with has been amazing.
Yes.
When
Got
I
a
do
good
have to
council.
go pull a permit, it's not a problem.
Yeah. They got their act together for sure. So you were saying some of the places you're working on now?
We're working at Mariner Point on Sanibel. We're working, I don't want to name any names,
Why not?
on Estero Boulevard.
Okay. I mean, if people want to go and see your work, how can they do it?
Well, they can't go into people's private properties.
They can't.
Yeah.
I
No.
do it all the time.
Okay,
Every
the
Saturday
big, turtle,
morning
the
I
big
do it.
turtle house.
You have to be, yes.
What's the big
The one
turtle?
with
Oh,
the
with the
turtle on the
mural.
back of it. Yeah.
With the mural on the
Yeah.
back. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to refinish the whole interior of all his after it's already been done.
Who owns that house?
I'm not saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anything?
And a coat of paint, when you change, that's like the biggest impact
Yeah.
thing. When you're doing something in your house.
No.
no.
No?
All the steps
Wrong.
before that matter.
I know, but when someone's redoing their house and they do a new paint, even if you put crown molding is nice, but new paint, you're like, wow.
Here, you're way out of your league here.
Looks
Shut
good.
up,
No,
dear.
it looks good.
Yeah.
Looks good, but it has to do with the prep work from the beginning all the way up.
Yes.
So anyway, yes.
But I'm saying
agree.
in general, like
Yes.
when you're gonna look at changing your house, changing the color is a reasonable expense to do and get a big impact.
correct.
What's the worst thing you've seen so far?
You're
on,
welcome.
on this island in a house.
I don't know how to. I don't. I've seen a whole 2-story house with vinyl siding on it with drywall screws pinned all the way tight all the way around, and all the corner beads and all the J and F channel and everything, and it's gonna buckle and it's on a canal.
Yeah.
And the drywall screws, which should never been used, interior drywall screws, are going to rust off. So as it buckles, it's going to, as they rust, it
Pop
buckles,
off.
the whole thing.
So if a normal homeowner won't notice that, it'll look
Like a
it
house
looks-
of cards.
No.
it'll just look fine.
No, but we have YouTube today, people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can look and see how everything's done.
So I mean, I don't think anybody would know what to look for and
No,
use to
check
wait.
your
My
contractor.
screws, I gotta check YouTube for those screws. They look screwy.
You
You
shouldn't have
got
to.
some
I know,
screws
I
loose
know.
that nobody's gonna
Here, how many
fix.
times are you going to insult me today on this show? I mean,
No, I
that's
feel like-
going like
I
10
feel like I'm
times
on
already.
a roll today.
Jesus Christmas, what is wrong with you today? And all I did
I
was
missed the one
compliment your
about your
hair.
brain.
All I did was compliment your hair, your flat head.
See, there we go.
Wow,
There
she
we
does
go.
have amazing hair.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, so Tony, anything else you want people to know about how they can reach you so that you can come in and inspect their homes?
No, you got my number. Yeah, I will.
Give it out.
I will. No, so let me back up one more step.
All right, one more step.
Before the, and then I'll shut up. Before the storm, I started my GC license because I got tired of looking at all the crap being built out there. And my little uneducated brain knows more than half the contractors out there. And I busted my collarbone in 4 places, so I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
And then I got flooded and hurricane, but anyway. So I'm educated on all this stuff, and I've got all the books, and I paid plenty of money to educate myself. I just didn't finish the class.
Okay.
So
I don't have any idea why you just brought that up, the collarbone in the
because
class.
to know that
but-
I'm not just a painter,
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Right.
Right. Okay. And your collarbone is fine now.
and my
Right.
collarbone's fine. Yeah.
Can you raise your arm up over your head and all that? Okay, good. So I don't want you coming to my house fixing shit with one arm. If I'm
Nope,
paying you, I'm
nope.
paying you for 2 arms.
No, that's why I send Schneider.
But yeah.
I know you
that
have
is
great staff too.
Super nice. Like one of the nicest people.
This kid,
Yeah.
I know he didn't want to come on the show,
yeah,
but
he's so
he's
nice. So nice. Yeah.
such a sweet, sweet
He
kid.
left some blue tape on my house, but that's okay. I took it off. I know he's got you in other places. All right, Tony,
Well,
give out.
he was
all right,
working. I
wait,
just
wait,
want to
wait, wait.
say he was working so hard
it's
one
crazy.
time at our house. There's like a storm is coming in. I'm like, you have to get inside. No. I just want to finish this one thing.
Yeah.
I very
Nice.
both of you guys, but very hard working.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give out your phone number so people
Trustworthy.
can call you right now.
239-410-7083.
Please, somebody type that in the chat box, 239-410-7083. Wow.
And I thank you.
Wow.
And thank you all good
I
people.
mean, now that
Thank you. Tony
deserves
Bone,
a
everybody.
round of
Please talk
applause.
to him if you need help.
Thank you much.
Screwing screws into your
We
house.
appreciate you guys.
Thank
You guys have done an amazing job for Fort Myers
Thank you,
Beach
Tony.
too.
Thank you, Tony. Tony Bone, everybody. All right, dear. I want you to tell everybody about your Africa trip.
I'm going to
My-
Africa
My
in
wife
October.
went to get her malaria shots last week.
No, malaria, you get pills for malaria. I went and got yellow fever, which is a live vaccine. I was so grateful I didn't get sick because people do get sick
So
from that.
where
And
do
I
you,
got
wait a second.
typhoid.
You didn't get
I didn't
typhoid.
get typhoid. I got the shot for typhoid.
So where do you think most normal people would go to get shots to go to Africa? Like to a regular doctor where you thought maybe
no, it's got to be a special travel place.
Where do you think she went? To the Goodwill. That's
no,
where
I
she
did
got her
not
shots.
go to the Goodwill. I do want to put a plug out for Costco.
That's where
Because
she
I
went for her
actually went
shots.
to Costco and they have a plan. I know, right? Who knew that, right?
Costco.
You do a travel nurse doctor thing online, which was $40. Now, if I'd gone to the walk-in place, $125.
Dear, why are you doing
You get
that?
all the info. They $185. They do all of your recommendations. They review your immunizations.
Thank you, CJ.
Good luck
and Greg.
finding your immunization record if you're as old as me, because it took a long time. But the bottom line is you're going to need everything repeated if you're old. So anyways, and then Costco sets up the appointment and you go there and you get the shots at the discounted rate. Although I will say, if you have health insurance, check with your insurance provider first because it may be covered.
Okay.
I paid, but really, the shots were half what they would have been at the other travel place.
So you can't get typhoid Mary, and you can't get yellow fever, and you can't get malaria now.
I have pills to take for malaria that's preventative.
What about
and then
COVID?
they give you medicine for traveler's diarrhea, which everyone's told me you get no
Ooh.
matter what.
Really?
So, yep.
How do you get that?
I think it's a combination of things. You have to stick with you have to stick with bottled water.
I see.
You have to be careful.
Do they have
Really
food
careful.
where you're going? They have food and drink where you're
Yeah,
going?
they have bottled water
And why are you
and
going?
warm beer is what I've heard.
Oh, wow.
And then and they have food there, but I don't eat meat, so I'm gonna have to navigate that.
Why are you going?
We're going on a mission trip. Well, not we. I'm going on
I'm
a
not
mission
going.
trip.
I'm not leaving the United States of America ever.
So I'm going to be leaving out the flyers, and we'll be talking about that because they're looking for people to sponsor kids
I see.
for school.
So what is
because-
the mission about? Tell everybody what the mission is about. You
so
don't.
we're going to a couple of different places, and one of the schools is for disabled kids, and they have doctors that fly in from Italy that perform like orthopedic surgeries, but they have a variety of kids there. The kids live there because education is expensive and they don't have a lot of money, so they can stay at the school. They can go to school there. They eat. They sleep there. So I'm going to go and entertain the kids and the nuns.
All right. I can't wait.
It's
And
through Outreach Africa. So you can check them out. I got my paperwork over there.
yeah.
Oh, I got to
So
tighten
we
my
have plenty of time to
triceps.
talk
I
about
can
that.
wave my arm now.
because-
Nothing will shake.
Wow. Look at you. How many push-ups can you do in a minute?
What?
How many push-ups can you do in a minute?
Oh,
We're
none
gonna
right
test
now
that out
because I
later.
just bench pressed. But
Oh, look at you. Big deal. So that's October, right?
yes, I leave on your birthday.
Okay. Very nice.
I know.
And-
No one's surprised on that.
No, and so the last thing I wanted to mention was 2 weeks from yesterday, we're having another
2
special
weeks
show.
from yesterday.
That's 14 days from yesterday, 13 days from today, if you're doing
Look
the
at
math
you
at
doing
home.
math.
I'm getting better at it. We're having a special show at Nervous Nelly. So if anybody is going to be around and you want to come by, we're unveiling the biggest fundraising event that we've ever had in the 6 years we've done the show and the 2 years from the storm. It's going to be even bigger. Did you hear that? Something's
all in
going
your
on my
head.
ear. The biggest fundraiser for a rebuild on the island that we're going to need everybody's help with. So that's coming up at Nervous Nelly's. I think we're going to be upstairs for that. So stay tuned for more details on that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's show with the mayor. Thank you, dear. You can go. I'm going to read the Alex King
I'm going
ad.
to
Are you
sit
done?
here now. You're not dismissing me.
The show tomorrow with the mayor will be at 10 o'clock. We're moving the shows back to 10 o'clock, starting with the mayor show tomorrow because we were unable to get out of the way of the live music in time for Megan to start. Was she supposed to start at 12 or 12:30? Anyway,
It
she'll be
doesn't
starting
matter.
on time from
You
now on.
are like, I may get traveler's diarrhea, but you have verbal diarrhea. You can't shut your mouth.
The thing is that when we do the show, people want to chat with us, dear. I mean, people want to linger and talk about the issues and
I'm talking on the show. You just,
yeah.
I
well-
have to wedge myself in there to get a point
Well,
in.
it's mostly the mayor. He just can't stop talking. It's
I'm
just,
sorry, what?
It's mostly the mayor. He
Oh,
never
the
stops
mayor.
talking.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming by. I'm shutting your mic off. And a final thank you to the Alex King Group. And Alex gave us a nice tour of Avenida Pescadora today. And Alex is going to take my wife out on a boat tour. We're going to do some boat tours out there. He said he has a nice new boat. And I said, no, I'm going to pass that one off to Kim. I like to be on land, and she likes to be in the sea. So she's going to do a nice boat tour with Alex, and they're going to look at some of the houses from the other side. But Alex King has a brand new logo. They've rebranded. You saw some of the homes on Avenida Pescadora. So please go back and watch the walk around from this morning to see some of those homes. And thank you to the Alex King Group and Rita this morning for everything they did for us and all their sponsorship. Thank you all for coming out today. We appreciate you coming out, and have a great day. Bye-bye.